Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tip Betting Tips. I trust you're having a fantastic evening and you're getting ready for the racing that's going to be taking place out at Turffontein. So I'm going to hand over to the postman. He's going to be tipping out at Turffontein. So here's the postman.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where in the world you guys are. And a big warm welcome again to the Top Tipper family. Before we get on to the selections, guys, to go through some of the feedback from Thursday the 1st. Our value bet, the Macro Blossom, arrived, paid 8 Rand odd a win, 7 to 1. So I hope you guys got some of that. We did not have a bad day overall, even though I still said to you guys, hey, stay out is not a card to get involved in. Pick six and everything paid bombs. But when we go through and we look, the one race that still leaves a very, very, very bitter taste in my mouth is race 7, Glittering Girl. In a, 5-horse field, cannot finish in the top 3. Wow. And I think it was around about 4 to 10. Guys, I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know. I haven't seen a vet report or anything like that. But yeah, at least we had the second selection, Aga Heat, arrived. So if some of you guys added that into any of the exotics, well done. Guys, let's get on to Saturday, the 3rd of December. Racing comes to us from the Turffontein racecourse, and we're on the stand side track, guys. There are 9 races carded, and the first event is due off at 11:50. So please take note, guys, quite early. The first race is a maiden plate for the girls over 1,400 meters. Again, there are 1 or 2 first timers here, namely horse number 9, Red Maple, and horse number 11, Silver Hills. There has been money for both of them. So please, just have a look. If you're having a bet, they're both from the Tarry Yard. My preference would be the 11. However, let's go through the selections. Of those that have run, my first selection here would be horse number 4, Aunt Petit Pat. Caden Brewer gets a ride here for St. John Gray. Last time out, over 1,800. I don't think it was a bad race. He finished 5th on that occasion, did finish off with respiratory noises. And again, I certainly think in this field is good enough to be there when the whips are cracking. For second, I've gone for horse number 3. This is Green Bubbles. Gabriel Peters retains a ride here for Stewie Pettigrew. Very nice effort last time out behind Bonette. Bonette has franked form, and I know the stable quite fancy Bonette. They rate it. So again, I certainly think Green Bubbles is in with a chance. For third, I have gone for the first timer from the Tarry Yard with Rachel Venica aboard. This is Silver Hills. Nicely drawn at 3, well bred, daughter of Silvano. At this stage in time, this is the current favorite, around about 5 to 2. So if you're taking bets, or you're taking swingers and trifectas, obviously we cannot leave this one out. For fourth, I have gone for a nice roughie here, horse number 8, Casino Gale. This is Randall Simons for the Laird Yard. Last time out over 1,600 meters. Ran 5th behind United Council. I certainly think this one has a bit of scope for improvement. And again, we have to take note that this is Alex' only runner of the day. So race 1, I've gone 4, 3, 11, and 8. We'll move on to the second race on the card. This is due off at 12:20 and novice handicap over 1,600 meters. This is the first leg of our bipot. Please take note, guys. Horse 6, Global Breeze, has been scratched. And here we've got a very short priced favorite. This is horse number 4, Celestial City. Rachel Venica gets a ride here for Sean Tarry. Has had one run, and that was in the hands of Calvin Abib. Won really, really well on that occasion after being slow. Very, very well bred individual. This one is very short at the moment at 5 to 10. However, after getting burnt on Thursday with that 4-10 shot, I'm certainly not getting a banker. For those of you that think this is good enough to run first or second in the buy pot, maybe you can banker and load up later. So horse number 4 is my first bet. And my apologies, is my first selection, currently around about 5-10. My second selection here is horse number 3, High Moon. Marco van Rensburg gets a ride here for Clinton Binder. Has got some decent form. We go and receive very nicely drawn at 1. And again, I think that this one will give the favourite a run for its money. For third, I've gone for horse number 1, Tabby Cat. Diego de Gavea gets a ride here for the Mike and Adam Azzy yard. This finished 4th, 7 lengths behind Franklin. And Franklin let us down the other day. But Tabby Cat good enough to run a drum in this small field. For 4th, we've gone for the 2. This is Otto Laken. Sunday Ngoli gets a ride here for the Tyrone Zaki yard. This ran really, really well. When I say really well, was not disgraced in a grade 2 last time out, finishing 9 lengths behind Union Square. That was a lot stronger than it meets today, and did win its maiden prior to that. Again, just take note, this is Tyrone's only runner for the day, so I'm sure he's not going to go down to Turffontein just to have a look at the weather. So in race 2, I've gone 4, 3, 1 and 2, and in our bar parts, I'm going 3 and 4. We move on to the third race on the card. This is the first leg of our place accumulator. This is due off at 12:55, a maiden plate over 1,400 meters. Guys, take note, horse number 2, Fiddler on the Cliffs, has been scratched, so leaves us with a field of 9. Very, very difficult race. Don't like this one at all. I'm loading up here in all my exotics. And in this event, my narrow first selection is horse number 9, Tiger in Red. Marcella Kachede gets a ride here for the Waiho mowing yard. Did show vast improvement last time out, albeit in a work riders, finishing 4 lengths behind Mandalay. I think it has been running to some strong sorts, and I certainly think that this one cannot be left out of any exotic. For second, I have gone for horse number 5. This is Bright Blue Sky. Diego de Gavea retaining the ride here for the Mike and Adam Azzy yard. Has had 2 decent efforts. Nicely drawn at 2. Must be included as well. 9-2, not a bad price. For third, I've thrown in horse number 8. And this is Severide. This is Gabriel Pilisa for Robin Clarkson. Did have 1 run, was a fair effort, was green on that occasion. And again, I'm certainly looking for an improved effort from that one. For fourth, I've gone for 6, Fast Duty. Again, Sunday Tolly gets a ride here for Stewie Pettigrew. Had 1 run, finishing 5.5 lengths behind World's Best. Was slow on that occasion. Finished the race with respiratory noise. If jumping on the terms and all goes well, again, certainly must be there and thereabouts. Guys, is a nice bred first timer here, horse number 10, LMB. This is Rachel Benica again for Sean Terry. Currently round about 5-1. Watch this one going down if you're taking place accumulators. If there's more betting support for this one and it looks well, maybe throw it in. Like I said, I don't like this race. I've gone 9, 5, 8, 6, and I also will be looking at the 10. If it looks well, I don't mind putting all 6 horses in, or all 5 horses in. We move on to the fourth race on the card, due off at 13:35, maiden plate over 1,400 meters. This is the first leg of our pick 6. Please take note, guys, horse number 6, Fog Bank, has been scratched, very important scratching, leaving us with a field of 8. And in this event, my first selection here, and this is a value bet, is horse number 8, We've Got Tonight. Marco van Rensburg for Roy Magna. First time out, 4 lengths behind the Mauritian. Second time out, finished 5th, 8 lengths behind Munchkin. On both occasions, this one has been running on. And I certainly think that the 1400 meters will suit this one down to the ground. And I think that round about 3-1, 33-10, I think this is great value. I really do. And this is my first value bet. For second, I've gone for horse number 1. This is Cornello Caden Brewer for Shayla Naidu. This has had 11 runs for 2 places. Again, I'm not going to Hollywood, but certainly can run drum in this type of field. For third, I've gone for horse number 4. This is Camley Court. Brian Yawa gets a ride here for Mike and Adamazi, coming back from a 26-week layoff. But again, first time out, there was betting support for it, was not disgraced. And again, if not in need of the run, certainly can fill in one of the minor spots. For fourth, we've gone for horse number 5, Aldecino. Gabriel Peterson for Robin Clarkson. Steps up in distance. And again, Gabriel's been riding really well for the yard. And I think that this may be good enough to fill in the back end of trifectas and quartets. Guys, in this race, there are a good couple horses coming back from rests. I think horse 2's the 20-week layoff. Horse 9, a 31-week layoff. Horse 4, 26 weeks layoff. So we've got to take fitness for granted. And I honestly think that 8, as I said, 33-1, if you can get a stretch, 72, we're going to climb in here. We think that this is great value. The fifth race on the card, this is due off at 14:10. This is a merit rated 96 handicap over 1,000 meters. There are 7 horses carded, and my first selection here is horse number 2, Remember When. This is also the second of my value bets, round about 6-1. Sianda Sesibo gets a ride here for Johan Janssen van Vuren. Van Vuren has got 3 horses in the race. This one is currently around about 6-1. We're going to look at the form here. We go back 5 lengths to Master Archie, 3 lengths to Gallic Chief, a length and a half to Far Away Winter. Last time out, faced a lot stronger than it meets today, finished 6.5 lengths behind Dalshika. With the kid claiming he's 4 kilos, and he's been riding really well lately, this will only be carrying 54.5. And as I said, 6-1, again, I think is great value. For second, I have gone for the stable, for the stable companion. This is horse number 4, Sheldon. We tipped it last time out and came home and was punted from 33-10 into 14-10. Again, Gabriel Peterson gets the ride here for the Johan Janssen van Vuren yard. He will be claiming his 1.5. And again, this has to go close. Must be included in everything. For third, we've gone for the 5. This is the third one from the Johan Janssen van Vuren yard. I'm even looking at taking a trifecta with all 3 of these horses. This is Big Eyed Girl. Chase Mojan gets the ride here for the stable. This filly ran a really good race, finishing second behind Epico, was less than 2 lengths. And again, we go back and we look, has run to some decent sorts. And again, certainly worth including in exotics. For fourth, I've gone for the 6, Marenko. Brian Yawa for Roy Magna. Brian rides well for the yard. And this did finish second to Sheldon last time out, albeit at a long price. But I think will be fitter this time. And again, I think that good enough to fill in back ends of trifectas and quartets. So race 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 6-1 on the 2, I think is great value, guys. The 6th race on the card, this is due off at 14:45, a merit rated 80 handicap over 1,000 meters. Again, I think this is quite a tricky event. Tread warily here. There are a lot of horses that are coming first run for the stable. A lot of them were with Paulie Peter, 1 or 2 with Kannemeyer. Those ex-Paul Peter runners have certainly underperformed, so just be careful when including them. In the 6th race, my first selection here is horse number 9, Stormy Seas. Rachel Venica gets the ride for Roy Magna. Very good run last time out, finishing second, 3 parts of a length behind Dancing Dora. Was running on that occasion, and I think with Rachel claiming her 1.5, Stormy Seas will only be carrying 54. must be included in all exotics. For second, I've gone for horse number 3, Bronco Blitz. Again, we've got Sianda Sasibo claiming his 4 kilos, this time for Fani Broncos. And this won well last time out, beating Takenaut. Takenaut is a fair sort, and I think that if the kid can keep this one going, we'll go very, very close, carrying 56.5 kilos. For third, gone for a real roughie here, horse number 12, Pendragon. Philisandin Tolly getting the ride here for Fani Broncos. We go and we see that this is only carrying 53.5. I think is drawn on the right side of the track. Put a line through last run. Jockey didn't ride this one out. But we go before that, 3 lengths to Samuel Salt. End up beating Unzen, and we know the stable really fancy that one. So at 25-1, guys, throw this one in all exotics. I promise you, if this one arrives, you'll be one of very, very few to go through. For fourth, I've gone for number 2. Here Comes the Rain. Gabriel Peterson for Corey Lensley. Gabriel rode this one last time out, finishing second to Samuel Salt at long odds. This has had 2 runs for the yard, and again, certainly improved nicely last time out, carrying 60.5, big weight, but again, good enough for the back end of trifectas and quartets. So race 6 in an open event, I've gone 9, 3, 12, and 2. The 7th race on the card, guys, due off at 15:20, is a merit rated 72 handicap for the girls over 1,600 meters. Please take note, horse number 2, Simple Simple, has been scratched and leaves us with a field of 8 runners. In this event, my first selection is horse number 6, Defender of Rights. Randall Simons retains the ride here for Stewie Pettigrew. Last time out, Randall rode this one. This horse finished third, just under 5 lengths behind Rennie. Was slow on that occasion. And I think if Randall can jump and get this one out on terms, certainly will go very close. For second, I've gone for horse number 8, Angel's Wish. This is Malaseli Kachedi for Waiho Mowing. Again, last time I had really decent effort behind Little Miss Sunshine. And again, I think that the kid knows his horse now. He rode it last time out. And again, certainly worth throwing in all exotics. For third, we're going for the top weight, horse number 1. This is Berengari. Striker Stadium gets the ride here for the Baron Burgess Yvette Foster yard. Last time out in a grade 3, finished 12 lengths behind Emerald Gina. But we go back and we look, has decent form. Only negative here, carrying 60 kilos, but is a decent sort. Again, should be thrown into exotics. For fourth, we've gone for a little bit of a roughie. Horse number 3, Prairie Falcon. Philisandin Tolly getting the ride for Stewie Pettigrew. Last time out, this finished 4.5 lengths behind Princess Philippa and was slow on that occasion. That was a first run back from a layoff. And again, certainly will be a lot fitter this time and maybe good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. The 8th race on the card, due off at 15:55. This is a merit rated 93 handicap for the girls over 1,600 meters. And in this event, my first selection here is horse number 7, Little Mary Sunshine. The last 2 runs, finishing 7th on both occasions, 7.5 lengths behind Pascal Samore over 1,800 meters last time out, and then 5.5 lengths behind Miss Daisy the time before that. We go and we look on both occasions. This one was drawn really wide. I think reverting back to the 1,600 will suit this one down to the ground. Sianda Sasibo gets a ride for Mike de Kock, claiming 4 kilos. This one will only be carrying 50 kilos. We'll think it's got loose. And I certainly think that 7-8-1 may be worth a small touch. For second, we've gone for 6, Wakanda. Marco van Rensburg for Roy Magna yard. Has got some fair form. Nice run behind Bureau de Legendre. Is weighted to finish a lot closer, and I certainly think this one will do so. For third, I have gone for the 5, Bureau de Legendre. Gabriel Peterson retains the ride here for Robin Clarkson. This one jumped, set the pace last time out and drew clear. I certainly don't think they will let Gabriel get clear this time out, but must be included in exotics. For fourth, we've gone for the one Eternal Life. Caden Brewer gets a ride here for Corey Lensley. Caden gets on very, very well with this one, finishing second last time out behind Balavardi. This will be the third run after a rest. I'm just worried that Eternal Life and Bureau de Legendre, they're both front runners. I'm just worried that they will go out and cut each other's throats and will both be found wanting 200 out. But again, certainly should be thrown into backing of trifectas and quartets. So race 8, we've gone 7, 6, 5, and 1. We move on to the 9th race, the Lucky Last, due off at 16:30, met rate at 66 handicap over 1160 meters. Guys, take note, horse number 8, Musical Kiss, has been scratched, leaves us with a field of 10. And in this event, my first selection here is horse number 9, Dark Tide. Again, we've gone for Sianda Sasibo, this time again for Fani Broncos. Sianda will claim his 4 kilos. This one will be carrying 49.5. And again, I certainly think that this one will give a decent account of itself and should be there and thereabouts. For second, we've gone for number 4 in the Ether, Falasandi Choli for Grant Maroon. And the last 2 efforts with Falasandi aboard have been good. And again, must be included in all your exotics. After that, guys, things become tricky. I think if you're taking a pick 6, load up the last race. Really, really, really. If those 2 don't arrive, anything can. For third, I have gone for the 5, Risky Business, Rachel Venica for St. John Gray. Coming back from a 13-week layoff. The break may have done this one the world of good. But again, we got to take fitness on trust. We go back and we look at the form. This did beat Aga Heat to break his maiden, and Aga Heat came and won the other day. We know that. If I'm looking for another negative, for me, I think drawn on the wrong side of the track, but in this field must be included. For fourth, we've gone for the 2 Gin and Tonic. Malasele Kajeli gets a ride again for the mowing yard. I think he's got 2 rides here, and I certainly think that carrying 58 kilos, drawn on the right side, certainly must be included. As I said, guys, for smaller punters, go for 4 and 9. Personally, I think load up here, put as many as the budget would allow. Rather get a smaller percentage of the pick 6. I always say a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Don't like the race. Guys, as I said in the preview, there are a couple first-timers that you need to look at, especially earlier on. They are in the betting. Watch them go down, see if there's any support for them. Check for jockey changes, check for further scratching, guys. Take it easy, look after yourself, and let's hope like hell that we can get some Christmas money. Take care.
Thanks for that, the Postman. We appreciate your input, your hard effort in studying, and hopefully you steered the guys in the right direction. We've been in fantastic form lately, so please, Lord, let it continue. So, guys, all in all, enjoy your racing, have fun, break a leg, and cheers for now.